Argo City podcast. And I have returned. So, I am fresh back from the theater from going to see an advanced screening of Supergirl. You may notice that Argo City is a little empty here. It's just me and the cat, and he wants to know if the dog's okay. We'll get to that, Sparky, I promise. So, fresh out of the theater, my first impression, my first reaction, you don't expect to see that much vomiting in a Supergirl movie. I'm kidding, but I'm not. It's very much a James Gunn movie with lots of unusual fluids flying all over the screen, at least 3 vomiting sequences, and a lot of grit and grime and rust and unfortunate gas station rest stop snacks. It's very much, the gritty sci-fi film, and that's fine, except that's not Supergirl. I got into it a little bit with one of my friends who he was all excited for this, and I mentioned that I'm not really liking it, and Maddie is pissed. Okay, we're just going to put it out there. Maddie is upset. He just shot back at me. What do you want then? What exactly do you think would be better? Well, Supergirl Season 1, TV show. Supergirl Season 1 is one of the best bits of Superman lore ever. I remember at the time talking with people on the con circuit. That's everything I could want from a Superman film, except, he's not in it. But, other than that, and, or how about DC Superhero Girls? Or even stuff like JLA, Teen Titans, any of it. This Supergirl, it's not Supergirl. Some of you will look at me and like, it's adapting the comics. Yes, it's adapting Tom King's Women of Tomorrow. Well, it's adapting one of the worst comics from a man whose Oedipus complex is so massive that it can be seen from space. This drunken party girl incarnation of Supergirl. This Supergirl is not going to make little girls want to go out and get a Supergirl doll to fly the cape and brush the hair. It's not going to make them want to dress up as Supergirl. It's not going to give them something to aspire to. The whole thing is very much a trope, isn't it? Drunken party girl realizes that the lifestyle she's living is kind of empty, and maybe there's a little bit more in life. Maybe. I've seen that trope before. Let's face it, that's basically the plot of my first novel. So if you go up on Amazon and you get Coffee, Rock Bands, and Superman, you'll probably have a better time. It's not Supergirl. This gritty, violent movie would be great with Hawkgirl. In fact, I almost wish we could have gotten a Hawkgirl and Lobo hard R action flick, because it feels like it's what this wants to be. But whatever it is, it's not Supergirl. And that's kind of why it fails. Look, James Gunn does not like Superman. It's very apparent in his attitude. But he wants to do a story with someone with that power set, with some of that iconography, where he can kick the mud onto that iconography and drag the character through the more realistic, grittier, slimier dirt. It's what he does, and it's what he does well. But it's ill-suited for Superman. Well, we'll use Supergirl instead then. At least then I can get some of what I want. But he almost feels like there's a blank slate with Supergirl. Well, I think that shows how much you know. I guess that's the attitude here. I don't know. I'm hearing a lot of people compare this to Mad Max Fury Road. It's not. There's some child brides that have been kidnapped and they wear white dresses. That's about as far as the comparison goes. I hear others saying it's Guardians of the Galaxy. It could be. But it's grittier than Guardians of the Galaxy, and that's kind of saying something. Is it really gritty and mature that Supergirl's favorite word is the S-bomb? I mean, seriously? That's why I keep coming back to I'd like to see somebody else in this. I'd like to see a different character, and I'd like to see them go as far as they want to go. I think they know they're in trouble. I do, because if you watch any of the advertising, it's all showing Superman and Lobo and lots of coverage of the dog. David Cornsfoot's good in this. I mean, he's just as charming as he was last year, and he's doing his best Tyler Hoechlin impression. I could absolutely see him growing into the man we see in Superman and Lois. Be aware, Superman is barely in this, and he's really only in it to be a verbal punching bag. Jason Momoa is excellent as Lobo. But we knew he would be, because that's really what fans wanted him cast in, even before Aquaman. I mean, this is his best destiny. I would watch an entire Lobo movie. The dog bookends the movie. The dog is not in this. All right, you get some frolicking at the beginning, and you get some frolicking at the end, and the rest of it is him sick and dying and off screen. It's telling to me that they're focusing the advertisement on all the stuff that we want to see, especially since that stuff's really not much of the movie. The suit gets put on at the climax of the third act. That's all you're going to see of it. The rest of it is a trench coat, blue jeans, a very cool Blondie concert shirt, and some amazing leather boots, along with her mini-me, who is in the latest tribal gear and trudging along in a spacesuit and Ugg boots. It's weird, but it's following the source material. Look, if you like Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, then you will probably like this. And I think there are plenty of people who... This is a good movie in of itself. The problem is, if you like this, then you don't really like Supergirl. Because whatever this is, it's just not Supergirl. This Supergirl is not going to make little girls want to go out and get a Supergirl doll to fly the cape and brush the hair. It's not going to make them want to dress up as Supergirl. It's not going to give them something to aspire to. I say that with confidence because I have two girls, and the versions of Supergirls they got to see made them want to do all of those things. This version of Supergirl, well, I couldn't even get Maddie out to the movie for free. Perhaps it's time for James Gunn to move on and embrace this kind of gritty sci-fi epic, because it could be amazing. But because it has to be tied to this franchise, because it has to be PG-13, and it has to be connected in this universe, well, it's kind of like Hannibal Lecter says at the end of Red Dragon. Well, it's kind of like Hannibal Lecter says at the end of Red Dragon. Half measures will be the death of us. Supergirl is not a theater movie. wait for it on streaming, and maybe do like I do. Hold your nose and pretend that it's a different character. We will see you next week.